Linus and I would like to welcome you to episode 165 of the Knitting Samurai and Her Guys video podcast. I'm your host, Steph. He's Linus. And we are recording for you today here on a gray Friday afternoon, but it is the weekend, so there's always that to celebrate. I hope you've had a great 10 days or so since we last spoke. I think it's been 10 days. Pretty close to 10 anyways. It's been Independence Day here in the US. We've been really super busy with family stuff, and it doesn't promise to let up anytime soon. So I thought I would share some knitting with you and enjoy our time together. So first up, yes, he is a very happy cat who is 12 years young, and I just got a reminder phone call from the vet that he has an appointment for a checkup tomorrow. I forgot about it, but luckily we have time. So, time to go. So first, I finished the lovely colorwork hat I was working on last week that everybody seems to really enjoy. Kind of reminds me of umbrellas for some reason. I decided to make the top swirl. That looks very cool to me. So that's the way it ended up. I used Claudia hand-painted fingering for the brown in the chocolate colorway. Helped double with some cashmere yarn, fiber optics cashmere yarn. And then for the teal, I used turquoise blue by Fiber Note Dye Works. And I really enjoy that contrast in US size 5s and 7s. And of course I would rate this project an A+ because I love knitting colorwork hats. So I have another one on the needles already. This weekend we went to the beach, and we went to the beach 3 times this past weekend, each of the 4 days. Hence the beach cruise beach title. But on the 4th day, we saw Melissa and Sean Meliabella and Viper 413919 Viper something of his and hers podcast fame, and it was great catching up with them. We intended to go for an hour, and we ended up spending like 4 or 5 hours with them, like a good chunk of time. The kids were having fun, and it was a good experience for everyone. But Meliabella said, okay, I'm going to New Hampshire. Of course, that's Knitting Samurai country, and I need to do a colorwork hat too. So I'm really curious to see how hers is going. So that's that one done. I've just done a little tiny bit of work on another colorwork hat. So it hasn't started to be colorwork yet, but I'm just basically showing you because this coming week I have 17 hours of card knitting. So during that time I am 100% passenger, so I will be doing plenty of knitting. So I expect this hat will be finished or close to. So I am 20 rows into the ribbing out of 25, 26. So that's going to same pattern, holding the yarn double, knit on 5s and 7s. So there are those. The other colorwork hat I spoke of last weekend, I didn't really get any additional time on it, so I'm not going to show you that. Let's see. So my pie shawl continues to go. And I actually could have finished it this week and had 2 FOs to show you, but I felt like I actually stopped working on it and started something else just because I want to make sure I have enough varying needle sizes for all that time in the car, and this is just straight back and forth knitting, so it'll be pretty easy to do while I'm in the car at this point. So and I'm mid-row, so sorry that's not very helpful, but you could see, so this is transitioning from the pattern as you transition, in my case from the dark teal of this end through to the rainbow of Captain Tight Pants by Into the World and back to the dark teal. So really love the color transition. My shawl wardrobe definitely needed some sprucing up. I've been falling out of love with shawls and but rehoming them as you do when you're a responsible shawl knitter. And so when I go to my closet, I don't have a lot of really great ones. I'm not sure how much this will go with, or if I'm going to have to buy something new to wear it with. Although last week, didn't it match my outfit? I think it did. So, yeah. It's really cool, this last section. One of those things that only a knitter notices and only a knitter finds interesting. So that last Captain Tight Pants stripe, that's actually 4 rows worked, but the way the length of the rows are, it lined right up perfectly. So it's got these like splotches of color instead of being a marl like it was previous. You see? Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. I love what yarn can do for us. It can be the greatest thing ever. So this is knit on US size 6s, and I'm using Leading Men Fiber Arts for the teal and Lundy Sock by Into the World for Captain Tight Pants. So I weighed the Captain Tight Pants because I'm done with it, and I used almost, I think I used 55% of the skein, so not a full skein by any means. So if you have 2 colors that you want to work together, and a half skein will definitely get you that in the center section of the pie shawl. So, and the pie shawl is by Jennifer DeSalle. So expect to see that finished next week. And knowing that I needed more, I allowed myself another cast on. So back in February, Made in England gifted me the Orion's belt pattern, and I have loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So let's see, that's it wrapped up. I just want to give you a full shot, because for me, nowadays, my shawls need to be very shallow and long. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I can wrap a couple times that won't be too deep down. I don't really go for the triangular scarf shawls anymore. So I was super excited to cast this on, and I kind of went with the color inspiration. Just thinking about what colors I wear most often, what are easy to match with. So I pulled out some Handmade Casbah and pewter. This is my only skein of Handmaiden, and it's definitely one I've been saving. So I'm knitting with some of that saved stash. And pewter, did I say that? It's this gorgeous gray yarn with, I want to say moss and a little bit of copper in through it. It's very pretty, the variegation in that color. So there's this, and then I thought that the pattern had red and gray, as you just saw, but I thought orange would look really pretty, pulling out the copper tones in there. Not like sunscreen, but see? So I thought those would go nicely together. So this is Knit Pick Stroll in Butternut Butternut, I think is the colorway. Okay, now don't cringe that I'm using such a luxurious yarn with, I have it in my head, it's luxurious. It's called Casbah. I don't remember now, and I don't have the tag, what the content is, but the fact that it says Cas makes me think it has some cashmere. It's very soft, and I've been saving it. So those two, and then I don't have enough yardage on the gray, and so I thought, okay, let's throw in another one. And I had been saving this to do a color work hat with this teal, and I thought, well, since it's going to be a shawl, and teal and orange, they're great contrast, let's just add that one into the mix. So the teal will be the color that I have the least of in the shawl, and I've already mapped out where I'm going to replace some gray with teal to stretch my gray so I have enough yardage. But here's the ironic part. The teal is my brand Saki's Prints. So we have the whole price gamut right here of yarns in this one shawl, but the gray portion is what will be closest to my face. Yeah, if we relook at this, the gray part, I'm keeping that top section gray, I'm keeping that gray, and then where it's red, I'm mixing in the teal and the butternut squash. So see how it goes. I'm feeling whimsical. I'm feeling like trying something new, and like I said, I need to refurbish the stash of scarves. So, and these two, I'll definitely like earthy tones / gray, like it goes with a lot of stuff. More neutral up near my face. So, because I do tend to wear more colorful tops, not necessarily a lot of black or gray. So, anyways, you want to see what it looks like? I already changed the pattern, because why not? So it starts and you knit down as the process goes, but when I read the instructions one night, and then the next night I cast it on, and the first time I read it, I thought, oh, so it's gonna go from the bottom up So I had it in my head that I would be starting with the orange. So I read it again the second time and the next night, and I realized, no, I'm going down, so I should start with the gray. I thought, but I really like the idea of starting with the orange. So I did that. So my shawl will have a little bit of orange trim around the neck. It'll probably get folded under and you won't even see it, but it'll make an orange stripe that will somehow pop out as it's wrapped around. And I thought that would be fun. Just a little color. So I haven't done very much. I need to put a progress keeper on it. But here it is so far. And it's just a happy little shawl. It's actually a really long shawl. You cast on a lot of stitches and then work your way down as you go. And interesting construction. I think it's fun. And even if I didn't want to do the belt, the Orion Star portion of it, and just did it as a striped shawl, I think it would turn out really nice. Anyway, so I'm knitting this on US size 5s, and it's a lot of stitches jammed up on my needles, but it's going okay, and I think it will make excellent travel knitting, which is what it was cast on for. So that's what's on my needles. I will share with you that I've taken a bunch of my scrap yarn and I've shoved it in this bag. I actually laid it all out on the floor, took a picture of the color transition I planned out, and then shoved it in this bag because the boys were playing with it and I didn't want to lose any of these little tiny bits of yarn. So this is basically a good chunk of my purple and teal fingering weight scraps that I have. And then this is a shawl. No, it's not. It's a cowl, because I like knitting cowls. I like wearing them. It is the Bev Cowl by Shireen Nadar. It's been in my queue for a really long time, and it's finally time to knit it. So I thought, I'm so disorganized, guys. If you could see this desk, you would be mortified. Just mortified. I thought I would take, because I have enough of this fingering weight. Okay, wait, back up. This pattern is a worsted weight pattern. So I'm going to hold yarn double because that's what I like to do these days. And I thought I would use this skein of Capretta. I have 2 of them in this great royal blue colorway. I thought I would use that for one strand as the base for this pattern. And then mix in these so it has a barber pole transition effect through the yarn. Through the pattern. I thought that'd be fun. So I may or may not do this. I would say once every 2 weeks, I will lay out plans for a new project all over the knitting room floor. And I'll be so inspired and I'll spend half an hour in here just going through my yarn and thinking about it. And then I'll walk away and I do or I don't do it. But that's part of the joy for me in doing the color work, is that I do come up with lots of color combinations and I think about them and whatnot. So this was this week's idea. I also thought I could use this skein of knit picks, this navy color, to carry through as well. But I think I like the Capretta because I have no idea what I'll do with that, because I expect it will be a pilling yarn. I don't know why, I just do. It's 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, but it's so soft that I expect those are really short fibers and it'll end up pilling, and holding it with a yarn that has some nylon, more nylon content in it, and majority wool, I think will really help decrease the amount of pilling. That's what I'm telling myself. That is my hypothesis for today. So, and now the more I'm talking about it, the more I want to do it. So, you know, yeah, let's see. The hat is on 5s. The shawl, one's on 6s, one's on 5s. This would probably be on 5s or 6s. I should bring one of my socks with me so I have some size 1s just to give my hands that, like, no real movement to do. Bring those. I think I'm good otherwise for travel knitting. Anyways, what else do I have to share with you? You want to hear about us? Okay, hold on one second. Before I launch into talking about what's been going on in the Samurai household, I thought I would give you a 2016 anticipations update. So the first one is knit 10 miles or 27% more than last year. It's a weird number to say 27%, but that's what 10 miles worked out to. And so far this year, I've knit 9,400 yards, and I am ahead of schedule. If I'm gonna hit the, whoa, Linus, if I'm gonna hit the 10 mile mark. So, whoop, whoop, 10 miles is 17.6K. So, barn raising quilt, year three, no love. That could be one I bring with me on the trip though, because that's easy. And those are size 3 needles, and I don't really have to have my brain, right? Enough stitch markers and you're good to go. So maybe I'll bring that. Okay, think on that. Get stashed below 160 miles. So here's the thing with knitting with scraps and things that are not necessarily noted in my stash. Some of the scraps that I have, I never listed just because it was like a giant bag of someone else's leftovers, so they were just leftovers. But now I'm actively using those up and getting down my scrap bag. So even though I've knit 9,400 yards so far this year, I have only knit down 4 miles. That's pretty close right there, because 4 times 17 would be what? 4, 8 to 68. Oh no, that's not close at all. Right? Yeah. So yeah, there's that. So I just have 6 miles more to knit before the end of the year, which I think the pie shawl is going to be a big dump out of yardage, and I have no intention of stopping knitting colorwork hats. I may even try and sell some on Etsy, just because the stack is outrageously huge. So, let's see. Knit 6 sweaters, that ain't happening. And finish a pair of socks. So I had been thinking I was going to do 10 socks. Instead, I did 10 hats for gifts for people. So I'll call that one done and good. And then the jackaroo. I need to finish that so I can wear it. Okay, so then let's talk about Stash Dash while I'm updating you on things going on for me. So that is run by the Knit Girls. They are a wonderful video podcast, and it goes from May 27th through August 21st. I signed up to knit 5K. So far this year, I've done this Stash Dash period, I've done 1.8 meters towards my 5K. So I have 6 weeks to go. And that's it. 6 weeks done, 6 weeks to go. So if I keep going at this pace, I am not going to complete it, right? Have time. So I think the car ride is a really great opportunity to just put a dent in that. So we'll see what comes out after that. So what else has been going on with us? Well, it was 4th of July weekend, and we had lots of adventures. My aunt and cousin came down. The ones that Mom and I met for Girls Weekend. It's great. They live so far north that they don't travel in the winter. So in the summer, when everybody's off from school, she teaches 5th grade, and my cousin's in college. When they're off, we see them so much, and it's so much fun. So we've seen them twice already, and we're going to see them 2 more times this summer. So it's great. So you're going to hear about them. And you're probably going to see a video of them. So they came down Thursday night, and we just had a great time. We went to the beach on Friday. On Saturday morning, we did a Portsmouth Harbor cruise. So it was just a little hour-and-a-half cruise around Portsmouth, Rye, coastal New Hampshire, with some history thrown in, which I love history. And the boys had so much fun on the boat, and the adults enjoyed being on a boat in the sun, and it was just great. I'm so glad we did it. So what's the point in living in a touristy, beautiful area if you don't partake in what the tourists are doing? So that was fun to share with them, because my aunt, yeah, they don't come to New Hampshire a lot, I guess is how I would say that. So to save you guys a big long story. So I'm getting them used to the seacoast area, and hoping that when my cousin graduates from college, she will join us down here. So, and then my aunt will follow, my aunt and uncle. So, and then the whole tribe will have moved to New Hampshire. But that's just me wishing. And then let's see, Sunday morning we went to the beach again. Just my cousin and the boys and we had so much fun that time. I really engaged with the boys in playing with the waves and building sandcastles, and we actually found a beach in Rye that they had a big sign by the road that said not a sandy beach, and there was probably a 6-foot section that was sandy, and there were 2 couples on each end, and so we took the middle, and they laughed. The other people were laughing at us, and the boys were running around screaming and happy, and it was just a great way to spend a couple hours together. And let's see what else we put in the air conditioners. I know this isn't very exciting for you, but it is for me. I don't do well when the weather gets too hot at all. My temperature range is pretty tight, so anything over 73 and I'm just grumpy McGrumperson. So it's great. We got the big one in the dining room, so that one's cooling the whole first floor, and then the boys already had one in their room, and now we have one in our room, so I can sleep coolly now. But you know what I mean, like, it's just so much more comfortable, and I love white noise, so the sound of it makes me so happy. Steve, on the other hand, does not, so hence the summer noise battle. We will go back and forth all summer long, but anyways, for now, I'm happy that it's not too hot in my bedroom. And there's that. What else? Put in the air conditioners. I told you that we saw Melissa and Sean and Ella and Matt, and that was really fun. Ella and Roland are just a year apart, and so they had a lot of fun playing together, and then the other 2 kind of circled around and were in with them and out with them and off their own way. It was funny. And then just yesterday was Steve's birthday. I know. So now we're the same age. I'm just slightly older than him, and it doesn't bother him, but it bothers me when I'm like, hey, I'm 35, but you're not. So now we're both closer to 40. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on, and I think I'm gonna throw in some clips of all that wonderfulness of summertime joy that I've been having and share it with you, and I hope you enjoy it too and are loving what's going on with your summer. Take some time off, get away from the office, work, whatever it is you do, go outside, enjoy the sun, lots of sunscreen, and rejuvenate, recharge. This is the happy time of year. So go get your vitamin D. All right, there's your public service announcement from the Knitting Samurai and Linus. Linus, what do you think? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Take care until I see you again, and have a great summer so far. Okay, bye. This is what LT is doing. It's hot. It is in the sun? Yeah. Where's he gonna put it, guys? He's probably like, great, I have spectators. Whoa. What's he doing? Going around the cone? Maybe? Yeah, there he goes.
He did not.
Oh, breathe, it's okay, breathe.
What are you doing? You destroyed our castle.
Why?
I don't know. Why?
My castle?
We do tend to move a bit out here. Just be mindful of your footing, please.
Yay!
My name's Dimitri. I'll be your captain this morning.
Captain
Brandon
Dimitri.
is our first mate. Find him back in the barn galley. All kinds of snacks and refreshments back there for you. Freshly made coffee, bottled water, soft drinks, a variety of juices and snacks, as well as sandwiches. And we do have a full bar with cold beer and wine. And mixed drinks as well. Now we're heading down the Piscataqua River.
Big talkers. Tonight we're going to have.
This river is the borderline here between the states of Maine and New Hampshire.
This is fun.
Yay! I knew you would like
Forest
it.
is here to our right. Kittery, Maine to our left. Both these towns settled 1623.
1620.
The Piscataqua was the second fastest river in the United States, of tidal rivers navigable by ship, that is. The first being the Columbia on the west coast. The currents here average 4 knots in speed. We have an average tidal range of 8 feet.
Now we're going fast.
We are going fast.
Now, in just a moment, we'll be passing beneath the new improved Memorial Bridge. The original Memorial Bridge had been built in 1923.
What happened, honey? Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Happy birthday to you. Are you gonna Snapchat me?